Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor to stand before you today to share some thoughts that I believe can profoundly impact your journey. We're going to talk about something crucial, something deeply rooted in human nature. And understanding it can save you a lot of heartache and direct your energy towards what truly matters. We are diving deep into the reality that often no one truly stands by you until you've already achieved success, until you've crossed that finish line. It's a hard truth, but it's one we must embrace to build resilience and genuine progress in our lives. Let's start by looking at a fundamental aspect of human behavior. Why do people so readily ignore the struggles? The endless nights, the setbacks, the quiet battles fought in solitude, but then suddenly erupt in celebration when victory is achieved? Think about it. When you're in the trenches, when you're facing obstacles that seem insurmountable, when doubt creeps into your mind and you're questioning every decision, where are most people? They are often nowhere to be found. Their phone calls go unanswered. Their invitations don't extend to your challenging moments. Their encouragement is silent. It's as if the world collectively holds its breath, waiting to see if you will sink or swim. This isn't necessarily a malicious act. It's often born out of a natural human inclination to gravitate towards what is certain, what is proven, what is already shining. People are drawn to light, to warmth, to the comfort of achievement. They do not want to associate with the difficult, the uncertain, the potential for failure. They don't want to be burdened by your process, only to enjoy the outcome. Consider the individual who embarks on a new venture. They pour their heart and soul into it, sacrificing personal time, resources, and comfort. During those initial stages, when the idea is fragile, when the challenges are immense, and the future is uncertain, how many people truly offer unwavering support? How many genuinely offer a helping hand, a listening ear, or a word of encouragement without being prompted? The answer for many is very few. You'll find a handful of loyal souls, perhaps family members or very close friends, who might offer some comfort. But the broader circle, the acquaintances, the colleagues, even some distant relatives, they often remain on the sidelines. They observe, they watch, they sometimes even whisper doubts. They don't want to be associated with the potential for failure, with the messiness of creation. It's a risk they are unwilling to take. They want to see the product, not the labor. They want to witness the finished painting, not the smudged canvases and discarded sketches. This observation should not make you bitter, but rather incredibly insightful. It teaches you a profound lesson about where to place your trust and where to draw your strength. This tendency stems from several factors. One is simply human nature's desire for ease. It's easier to celebrate a victory than to empathize with a struggle. Celebrating requires little effort. It's a joyous occasion, a moment of shared positive emotion. Empathizing with struggle, however, requires effort, vulnerability, and a willingness to confront discomfort. It asks you to step into someone else's shoes, to feel their burden, and to offer something substantial, not just a superficial congratulation. Most people prefer the path of least resistance. They prefer the comfortable narrative of success over the gritty reality of the climb. They prefer the storybook ending without reading the difficult middle chapters. It's a universal truth, and understanding it is the first step towards navigating your own journey with greater wisdom. Another reason is a subtle form of self-preservation. People don't want to invest their emotional or even practical energy into something that might not pan out. If they offer support to someone struggling and that person fails, there's a perceived loss of their own investment, however small. If they publicly champion an unproven individual and that individual stumbles, there's a subtle blow to their own judgment. It's a cautious approach, a way of minimizing their own perceived risks. They'd rather wait until the outcome is clear, until the success is undeniable, and then they can safely associate themselves with it, basking in the reflected glory without having shared in the initial grind. This isn't necessarily a conscious, malicious decision, but rather an unconscious protective mechanism that many individuals possess. They protect their emotional capital and their public image, waiting for a safe bet before they place their chips. Furthermore, there's a certain aspirational quality to success. People are inspired by winners. They want to learn from them, to associate with them, to believe that some of that success might rub off on them. A person who is struggling, while potentially admirable for their efforts, doesn't offer that same immediate sense of inspiration or benefit. They represent a journey, not a destination. And many are more interested in the destination than in the arduous and often unglamorous path to get there. They want to see the gold medal, not the countless hours of training, the early mornings, the strained muscles, and the moments of doubt. They want to hear the roar of the crowd, not the lonely silence of the practice field. This focus on the end result rather than the process is a common human tendency, and it explains why the spotlight often falls on the champion, not on the contender still fighting their way up. So, when you are in the midst of your struggle, remember this: do not be disheartened by the silence, by the lack of applause, or by the absence of widespread support. Understand that it is a natural part of the human experience. It's not a reflection of your worth, nor does it diminish the validity of your efforts. Instead, let it be a powerful motivator. Let it fuel your resolve. Let it solidify your understanding that the journey is yours and yours alone. Primarily, the strength you build during these times, when no one is watching, when no one is cheering, when the only sound you hear is the beat of your own heart and the rhythm of your own hard work, that is the most valuable strength of all. That is the true gold. That is the foundation upon which all future successes will be built. It is during these times of quiet struggle that character is forged. It is when you face adversity without a crowd to cheer. You truly discover what you are made of. You learn to rely on your own judgment, your own resilience, your own inner drive. You learn to push through when external motivation is absent. You learn to find the fire within yourself, even when the world around you seems cold and indifferent. This period of isolation, of silent striving, is not a punishment. It is an opportunity. It is an opportunity to become unbreakable, to become self-reliant, to build an internal framework that cannot be shaken by the presence or absence of others. When you understand why people behave this way, you stop taking it personally. You stop expecting validation from external sources during your most challenging times. You realize that the energy you might have spent seeking approval or lamenting, the lack of support, is far better invested in your own growth, in your own pursuit of excellence. It liberates you from the need for external affirmation and empowers you to focus intensely on your objectives. You become a self-sufficient engine, powered by your own vision and determination, rather than a fragile vehicle dependent on the shifting winds of public opinion or transient support. The ultimate lesson here is not to become cynical, but to become wise. It is to understand the dynamics of human relationships and to calibrate your expectations accordingly. When you are struggling, expect very little external fanfare. Expect very little widespread encouragement. Expect to be largely on your own, and when success finally arrives, then and only then will the crowds appear. The congratulations will flow, the invitations will arrive, and suddenly everyone will want a piece of your story. They will want to claim a connection, however tenuous, to your achievement. This shift in perception and behavior is not a flaw in humanity. It is simply a reality. And those who understand this reality are far better equipped to navigate the peaks and valleys of life with grace and power. So, embrace your struggles, my friends. Embrace the quiet times. Embrace the moments when the only sound is your own effort. For it is in those moments, unseen by most, that the true work is done, that the true foundation is laid, and that the unwavering spirit of a champion is forged. And when you emerge victorious, when you finally stand on that stage, having achieved what you set out to do, you will know deep in your heart that the victory is truly yours, earned through your own sweat and perseverance, regardless of who was watching or not watching along the way. That understanding brings a profound sense of accomplishment and a quiet confidence that no external applause can ever truly replicate. It means that you own your success outright, without any sense of obligation or external validation. Now let's turn our attention to the idea that true support, the kind that truly matters, is a rare commodity before victory is unequivocally achieved. It's easy for people to say, "I support you when things are going well," when the path is clear and success is already within grasp. But genuine support, the kind that involves empathy, sacrifice, and belief in the face of doubt, that's a different story altogether. Think about the journey of an athlete in the early days, when their idea is just a sketch on a napkin, when they are spending their last dime on materials, working in a garage or a small workshop. Who truly believes in them? Who is willing to put their own reputation or resources on the line to help? Often it's a very small circle, a dedicated spouse, a fiercely loyal friend, or perhaps a mentor who sees a spark others miss. These are the rare individuals who understand that the process is often messy, that failure is a part of experimentation, and that true potential often lies hidden beneath layers of struggle. They offer encouragement not because they are certain of the outcome, but because they believe in the person, in the spirit, in the vision. They see beyond the current circumstances to the possibility that others cannot yet perceive. This kind of belief, this unwavering support in the absence of concrete proof, is incredibly valuable and incredibly rare. Most people, however, need to see results. They need tangible evidence that your efforts are going to pay off. They operate on a show-me basis. Until you can demonstrate clear progress, until you can point to a win, however small, their support remains conditional if it exists at all. This isn't necessarily a character flaw in people. It's often a practical reality. We are all busy. We all have our own challenges, and extending unconditional support to someone pursuing a dream that might not materialize can feel like an emotional risk. They'd rather conserve their energy, their belief, until the odds are more clearly in your favor. They want to back a winning horse, not one that's still in the starting gate, stumbling a bit and unsure of its pace. This reality becomes particularly evident when you face setbacks. When you experience a public failure, or when your efforts yield disappointing results, the crowd that might have been cautiously watching often disperses. The faint words of encouragement often. It's during these moments of vulnerability that you truly discover who your genuine allies are. Those who remain, who continue to offer a kind word, a practical suggestion, or simply their presence. These are the ones whose support is rooted in something deeper than just your potential for success. They are the ones who care about you, the individual, regardless of your current standing. They understand that life is a series of ups and downs, and they are willing to ride out the storm with you, even when the forecast looks bleak. The danger lies in mistaking superficial interest for genuine support. Many people will express interest in your journey, ask you how things are going, or offer polite encouragement. But this is often a casual observation, a form of passive engagement. It's not the active, invested support that truly makes a difference. Genuine support often involves listening without judgment, offering practical assistance when needed, defending your vision when others doubt, and simply being there through thick and thin. It requires a level of commitment and belief that most people are unwilling to offer until the risk of failure has been substantially reduced or eliminated. They are fair-weather friends of your dream, ready to join the celebration, but absent during the construction. So how do you navigate this? You cultivate a keen sense of discernment. You learn to recognize the difference between polite interest and true, unwavering support. You cherish those rare individuals who stand by you when the going is tough, when your ideas are unproven, and when your future is uncertain. These are your true friends, your true allies, your true champions. They are the ones who believe in the raw potential, not just the polished outcome. They are the ones who see the champion within you, even before you've won any medals. Their belief acts as a vital lifeline during those moments of solitude and doubt. And for everyone else, you learn to manage your expectations. You understand that their lack of early support is not a personal indictment, but rather a reflection of human nature. You don't hold it against them, you simply factor it into your understanding of the world. You learn to build your own confidence, your own belief system, independent of external validation. You become your own most ardent supporter, your own primary source of motivation. You become self-sufficient in your drive and your determination. This internal strength is far more reliable and sustainable than any external source of encouragement, which can ebb and flow with your circumstances. The lesson here is not to isolate yourself, but to be wise in your alliances, to be discerning about where you place your trust and where you invest your emotional energy. You don't need a massive crowd of cheerleaders during your struggle. You need a few highly committed individuals who truly believe in you. These few loyal souls are worth more than 1,000 fair minus. Weather admirers who only appear when the victory parade begins. Their presence strengthens you, their belief validates your journey, and their unwavering support becomes a powerful force multiplier in your quest for success. So as you continue on your path, remember that true support is a precious commodity, especially before success is undeniable. Cherish those who offer it unconditionally, and for those who wait on the sidelines, understand their position, but do not let it deter you. Let their silence or their skepticism fuel your resolve, strengthening your commitment to prove yourself, not to them, but to yourself and to your own vision. Your journey is uniquely yours, and the most important support you can ever cultivate is the unwavering belief in yourself. Regardless of who else chooses to believe, or when they choose to believe, the internal conviction you develop during the solitary parts of your journey will be your greatest asset. It will be the bedrock of your character, and it will be the quiet engine that propels you forward, even when the world around you is silent. That deep, unshakable belief in your own capacity is the most powerful friend you will ever have on the winding road to victory. Now, let's delve into the crucial lesson of stopping the endless pursuit of validation from everyone around you. This is a profound shift in mindset that can liberate immense energy and focus, directing it towards your actual goals rather than dissipating it in a futile quest for external approval. The human desire to be accepted, to be understood, to be applauded is powerful and deeply ingrained. From our earliest days, we seek the approval of parents, teachers, peers. But as we grow, and especially as we embark on significant endeavors, this need for universal validation can become a significant impediment, a heavy chain that prevents us from moving forward with conviction. Consider for a moment what it truly means to seek validation from everyone. It means constantly adjusting your actions, your words, your very being to fit the expectations and opinions of a multitude of individuals, each with their own unique perspectives and desires. It's like trying to please 1,000 different critics all at once with a single performance. The impossibility of such a task is immediately apparent. You will inevitably fail because what pleases one person will displease another. What one person considers admirable, another will view as foolish. To try and satisfy everyone is to satisfy no one. And most importantly, it is to lose sight of your authentic self and your true purpose. You become a chameleon, constantly changing colors, rather than a solid, unyielding oak. When you are deeply involved in a challenging project, an ambitious goal, or a transformative personal journey, the opinions of others can be a dangerous distraction. Their doubts, their fears, their limited vision can seep into your own consciousness, planting seeds of uncertainty where conviction should reside. If you constantly look to others for their stamp of approval, for their nod of encouragement, for their confirmation that you are on the right track, you become a puppet with countless strings attached to it. Your direction is no longer dictated by your internal compass, but by the fickle winds of public opinion. This is a recipe for stagnation, for confusion, and ultimately for unfulfilled potential. People will always have opinions. They will judge your choices, your progress, your failures, and your successes. This is a fundamental aspect of human interaction. But their opinions are their own, filtered through their own experiences, their own fears, and their own limitations. They do not define your reality, nor do they dictate your potential. To give undue weight to every casual comment, every raised eyebrow, every muttered skepticism, is to surrender your power. It is to hand over the steering wheel of your life to those who are merely passengers, or sometimes even backseat drivers who have no intention of reaching your destination. The crucial insight here is that you cannot control what others think or feel. You can only control your response to it. You can choose to internalize their doubts, allowing them to erode your confidence, or you can choose to filter them, to understand their source, and to remain steadfast in your own conviction. The wise individual learns to differentiate between constructive feedback, which can be valuable, and mere opinion or criticism, which often serves no useful purpose other than to inject negativity. Constructive feedback comes from those who genuinely care and want to see you improve. It is specific, actionable, and delivered with positive intent. General criticism, especially from those who have not walked in your shoes or do not share your vision, is usually best ignored. Building an internal locus of control is essential. This means that your sense of self-worth, your direction, and your motivation come primarily from within you, not from external sources. You define your own success, you measure your own progress, and you hold yourself accountable to your own standards. When you stop looking outward for validation, you free yourself to truly listen to your inner voice, to trust your instincts, and to pursue your vision with an unwavering commitment that is independent of external praise or criticism. This self-reliance is a cornerstone of true achievement. This doesn't mean you should become arrogant or dismissive of all outside input. Far from it. A wise person seeks counsel from trusted mentors, learns from experienced individuals, and remains open to new ideas. But there's a critical difference between seeking wisdom and seeking validation. Seeking wisdom is about gathering information and perspective to refine your own path. Seeking validation is about needing someone else to tell you that your path is acceptable or good. One strengthens your autonomy, the other diminishes it. You must be able to discern between someone offering you a map and someone simply telling you where they think you should go. Regardless of your destination, the energy you expend trying to gain universal validation is energy that could be invested in your craft, in your project, in your personal development. Every moment spent worrying about what someone else thinks, every effort made to appease a critic, is a moment taken away from the focused, deliberate action that truly moves you closer to your goals. Imagine the sheer volume of unproductive effort that is wasted by individuals constantly seeking to conform, to be liked, to be approved of by everyone. It's an exhausting and ultimately unrewarding cycle. Break free from it. So how do you cultivate this liberation from the need for universal validation? First, clearly define your own values and your own vision. What truly matters to you? What are you trying to achieve? What principles guide your actions? When you have a clear internal compass, it becomes much easier to filter out external noise. Second, understand that not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone needs to. Your path is unique to you. Don't expect others to see the world through your eyes, especially if they haven't put in the work or shared your experiences. Third, practice self-affirmation. Regularly remind yourself of your strengths, your progress, and your commitment. Your own internal cheerleading squad. Fourth, surround yourself with a small, trusted circle of individuals who genuinely believe in you and your vision, not just your potential for success. These are the people whose opinions truly matter and whose support is worth cultivating. Ultimately, stopping the expectation of validation from everyone is about claiming your own authority over your life. It's about recognizing that your journey, your struggles, and your triumphs are deeply personal. While shared experiences can be enriching, the core drive and the ultimate responsibility lie within you. Embrace the freedom that comes from knowing that your worth is not dependent on the shifting sands of public opinion. Your worth is inherent, and your progress is measured by your own standards against your own goals. This liberation is a powerful catalyst for authentic achievement and a life lived with genuine purpose and direction. When you release the need for universal validation, you unlock a profound source of internal power that will sustain you through any challenge. Regardless of who is watching or what they are saying, you become the master of your own ship, steering it purposefully towards your chosen horizon. Undeterred by the noise from the shore, let us now consider the profound importance of building inner strength instead of consistently relying on others for your foundation. This particular wisdom is not about isolating yourself, but about establishing an unshakable core within you, a personal resilience that serves as your primary source of power and guidance. In life, circumstances can change in an instant, and external support, no matter how well-intentioned, can be unpredictable. Relying too heavily on the strength, encouragement, or resources of others leaves you vulnerable to their inconsistencies, their limitations, or their eventual absence. Imagine a towering building that seeks its stability not from its own deep foundations, but from leaning on adjacent structures. What happens if those adjacent structures shift, or are removed, or crumble? The building, lacking its own internal support, will inevitably falter. Your life, your aspirations, your sense of self are no different. If you primarily derive your strength from external sources, from the approval of friends, the financial backing of family, the motivational words of a guru, or the constant validation from a partner, then your stability is always contingent. It's dependent on factors outside of your direct control, and that is a precarious way to live. Building inner strength means cultivating a deep reservoir of self-reliance, determination, and emotional fortitude. It means developing the capacity to face challenges, setbacks, and periods of solitude without collapsing or losing your direction. It involves understanding that while external resources can be helpful, they are ultimately supplementary, not foundational. The real bedrock of your success and well-being must reside within you. This is the difference between being a sailboat at the mercy of every wind and being a battleship, charting its own course, powered by its own engines. How do you develop this essential inner strength? It begins with self-awareness and self-mastery. You must understand your own values, your own principles, and your own purpose. When you are clear about who you are and what you stand for, your decisions become more congruent and your resolve becomes more steadfast. This clarity acts as an internal compass, guiding you even when external navigational aids are scarce or misleading. You are not tossed about by every opinion or every crisis. You maintain your heading. Another crucial component of inner strength is emotional regulation. Life will present you with disappointments, rejections, and moments of profound frustration. If your emotional well-being is entirely dependent on positive external circumstances or the constant soothing presence of others, you will find yourself constantly at the mercy of life's inevitable fluctuations. Inner strength allows you to process negative emotions, to learn from them, and to move forward without being consumed by them. It's about having the capacity to experience sadness, anger, or fear, but not allowing those emotions to dictate your actions or derail your long-term objectives. It's about feeling the pain, acknowledging it, and then choosing how to respond rather than simply reacting. Resilience is another hallmark of inner strength. This is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to learn from failures, and to adapt to changing conditions. It's not about avoiding challenges. It's about confronting them head-on, understanding that setbacks are not endpoints, but rather opportunities for growth and refinement. When you possess inner resilience, a perceived failure does not shatter your spirit, it merely provides valuable data for your next attempt. You see obstacles not as insurmountable walls, but as puzzles to be solved, as detours that might reveal a better, albeit longer, path. Furthermore, building inner strength involves developing your own problem-solving capabilities. When faced with a dilemma, your first instinct should be to look within yourself for solutions, to trust your own intelligence. And while seeking advice from others can be beneficial, the ultimate responsibility for finding a way forward rests with You. This self-reliance in problem-solving builds confidence and empowers you to tackle increasingly complex challenges independently. It means you are not constantly looking for someone to hand you the answers, but rather diligently working to discover them yourself. You become resourceful, capable, and confident in your own capacity to navigate the intricate labyrinth of life. Consider the person who constantly seeks advice for every minor decision. While a second opinion can be valuable, an over-reliance on others' judgment indicates a lack of trust in one's own. True inner strength allows you to weigh advice, consider different perspectives, but ultimately make your own informed decisions, owning the outcomes, whether they are favorable or not. This ownership of your choices is a powerful component of self-mastery. You are the architect of your own destiny, not merely a tenant in someone else's design. The journey of building inner strength is an ongoing process. It requires consistent self-reflection, deliberate practice, and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone. It means embracing periods of solitude, using them not as times of loneliness, but as opportunities for deep introspection and personal growth. It means pushing your own boundaries, taking calculated risks, and learning from every experience, good or bad. Each time you overcome a challenge using your own resources, each time you stand firm in your convictions, despite external pressure, each time you recover from a setback through your own efforts, you add another layer to your internal fortitude. The benefits of cultivating this inner strength are immeasurable. You become less susceptible to the opinions of others, less dependent on external validation, and more resilient in the face of adversity. You develop a quiet confidence that is not boastful, but deeply rooted in your proven capacity. You become a steady presence, not just for yourself, but potentially for those around you who may be seeking their own foundations. You become a source of strength rather than perpetually seeking it from others. This profound self-sufficiency liberates you to pursue your dreams with an unwavering resolve, knowing that regardless of what external circumstances may bring, you possess the internal resources to navigate any storm. You are not just surviving, you are thriving, powered by the immense and reliable energy of your own spirit. This is true freedom, and it is a gift you give yourself through deliberate cultivation. Now, let's turn our attention to the powerful principle of working in silence. While the world around you might be filled with doubt or indifference, this is not about being secretive, but about cultivating a focused, undistracted approach to your ambitions. And the burst, allowing your efforts to speak for themselves when the time is right, when you are in the early stages of building something significant, when your vision is still nascent and your efforts are not yet bearing visible fruit, many people simply won't understand. They might not grasp the depth of your commitment, the magnitude of your dream, or the sheer amount of work you are pouring into it. Consider the carpenter building a beautiful piece of furniture. In the initial stages, there is no magnificent finished product to admire. There are only raw materials, planks of wood, tools, sawdust, and the meticulous, often repetitive work of cutting, sanding, joining. If the carpenter constantly sought validation or explanation from every passerby, their progress would be severely hampered. They would be forced to pause, to explain their vision, to justify their methods to those who simply cannot yet see the final form. This constant external engagement would drain their energy and disrupt their concentration. The wise carpenter understands that the work speaks for itself. Eventually, they focus on the process, on the craft, on the silent creation, knowing that the beauty of the finished piece will be its own most eloquent testimony. Your personal and professional endeavors are when you are in the building phase, whether it's developing a new skill, starting a business, writing a book, or transforming your health, your efforts are often unseen by the wider world. You might be putting in long hours, making sacrifices, facing countless small failures, and learning experiences, all behind closed doors. During this time, you will inevitably encounter doubt. Some will doubt your ability, some will doubt your idea, and some will simply doubt your commitment because they don't see immediate results. In fact, this doubt might come from well-meaning friends who worry about you, from skeptical family members who question your choices, or from indifferent acquaintances who simply don't care enough to understand. The key is not to engage with this doubt, not to try and convince every skeptic, not to waste precious energy attempting to justify your vision to those who are unwilling or unable to see it. That energy is far better invested in the work itself. When you work in silence, you create a protected space for your ideas to grow, for your skills to develop, and for your efforts to accumulate without the constant interference of external judgments. This quiet focus allows for deeper concentration, more consistent effort, and a faster rate of progress. You are not performing for an audience. You are working for your goal. There's a profound power in the disciplined, solitary effort. It strips away the desire for external applause and forces you to find your motivation from within. When no one is watching, when no one is cheering, when the only witness to your efforts is yourself, that's when true character is built. That's when you learn to push through fatigue, to overcome frustration, and to remain committed simply because your vision compels you. This internal drive, forged in silence, is far more potent and reliable than any external encouragement. It becomes an unshakable inner force that propels you forward, regardless of the surrounding environment. Furthermore, working in silence protects your nascent ideas from premature exposure and criticism. Many brilliant concepts have been stifled or abandoned because they were shared too not early with individuals who lacked the vision or understanding to appreciate them. Imagine presenting a delicate seedling to a harsh winter wind. It needs time to establish its roots, to grow stronger before it can withstand the elements. Your ideas, your projects, your evolving self are like those seedlings. They need a period of protected growth, nurtured by your focused effort, before they are ready to face the full light of public scrutiny. This approach also fosters humility. When you are working quietly, without fanfare, you remain grounded in the reality of the work. You are focused on the task at hand, not on the potential glory or recognition. This humility keeps you teachable, adaptable, and open to continuous improvement. It prevents the kind of arrogance that can sometimes accompany premature success or excessive public attention. You learn that the process itself, the daily grind, the small, consistent efforts, are the true sources of achievement, not the fleeting moments of applause. So how do you practically implement this principle? First, set clear goals and develop a detailed plan of action. This internal roadmap will guide you and keep you focused. Second, allocate dedicated time for your work, free from distractions. Treat this time as sacred, protecting it from external interruptions and unnecessary social engagements. Third, resist the urge to constantly talk about your endeavors or seek validation from casual acquaintances. Share your progress only with a very small, trusted circle of individuals who genuinely understand and support your vision, and who you know will offer constructive, rather than debilitating, feedback. Fourth, celebrate your small, private victories. Acknowledge your progress to yourself. This internal recognition is far more sustainable than waiting for external approval. When you finally achieve your breakthrough, when your efforts culminate in undeniable success, the narrative will shift, the doubters will quiet, and many who were once indifferent will suddenly express admiration and even claim to have believed in you all along. This is the natural order of things. Your success will become its own most powerful statement, rendering all previous doubts and skepticism irrelevant. It will be the undeniable proof of your vision, your dedication, and your unwavering commitment to your silent work. Therefore, embrace the power of silent work. Understand that the most significant achievements are often forged in the quiet intensity of focused effort, far from the madding crowd. Let the silence be your ally, the absence of applause your fuel, and your internal drive your unwavering guide. This disciplined approach not only leads to greater accomplishment, but also builds an incredibly strong, self-reliant character that is capable of navigating any storm, fueled by its own intrinsic power. Your work, when it finally shines, will speak with a clarity and authority that no amount of early explanation or justification could ever achieve. And that, my friends, is a profound and liberating truth. Now let's explore a very telling aspect of human connection, recognizing that struggles often serve as an unfiltered, honest revealer of who your true friends are and who are merely fair-weather acquaintances. It's a challenging lesson, often learned through pain and disappointment, but it is an invaluable one for building a foundation of genuine relationships in your life. When everything is going well, when you are prosperous, when you are enjoying good times, it's relatively easy to have a large circle of associates. Laughter flows freely, invitations abound, and many people are eager to share in your good fortune. But what happens when the tide turns? What happens when you face a significant challenge, a financial setback, a personal crisis, or a period of profound uncertainty? Consider the metaphor of a ship sailing on calm waters. Many boats might sail alongside it, enjoying the serene journey. But what happens when a fierce storm arises, when the winds howl and the waves become treacherous? Many of those accompanying boats will quickly veer off, seeking safer harbors, leaving the struggling vessel to face the tempest alone. This is often how human relationships behave under pressure. When your life enters a stormy period, when your struggles become visible, that is when the true nature of your connections is starkly revealed. True friends, on the other hand, operate from a different foundation. Their connection to you is rooted in genuine affection, respect, and a shared history that transcends your current circumstances. When you face struggles, these individuals do not disappear. These individuals do not disappear. Instead, they often draw closer. They offer a listening ear without judgment, a helping hand without expectation of reward, and a steady presence that reassures you that you are not alone. Their support is not conditional on your success or your ability to provide something for them. It is simply there, a constant and reliable force, because their care for you is real. They understand that life has its ups and downs, and they are committed to standing by you through both. It's during these trying times that you learn invaluable lessons about the quality of your relationships. The individuals who remain by your side, who pick up the phone, who offer practical assistance, who simply show up without being asked, these are your gold. These are the relationships that are worth nurturing, protecting, and cherishing. They are the rare and precious gems that life reveals when the superficial layers are stripped away by adversity. Their presence confirms that their bond with you is deep and meaningful, built on something far more substantial than fleeting advantage or casual convenience. The challenge, of course, is that it can be painful to realize that some people you considered close were not truly there for you. This disappointment can sting, sometimes deeply, but it is a necessary pain, a refining fire that purifies your social circle. It helps you identify who truly deserves your energy, your trust, and your reciprocated loyalty. It saves you from investing further emotional capital in relationships that lack genuine depth and commitment. While the realization can be difficult in the short term, it serves as a powerful long-term benefit for your emotional well-being and the quality of your life. So how should you approach this recognition? First, do not become cynical. The goal is not to distrust everyone, but to become discerning. Understand that not everyone will have the capacity or the willingness to be a true friend, and that's okay. You cannot force genuine connection. Second, actively appreciate and cultivate the relationships with those who do show up for you during your struggles. Invest your time and energy in these loyal individuals. They are your chosen family, your anchors in a turbulent world. Third, gently release the expectation of deep support from those who disappear during your difficult times. You don't need to confront them or harbor resentment. Simply adjust your understanding of their role in your life. They may be good acquaintances, but they are not true friends. This gentle release frees you from unproductive emotional burdens. This lesson reinforces the importance of self-reliance, which we discussed earlier. When you build your own inner strength, you are less dependent on the constant presence or approval of others. This makes it easier to accept the natural ebb and flow of human relationships, and to identify true friends without the desperate need for validation. Your stability comes from within, allowing you to clearly see who stands with you out of genuine connection, rather than out of convenience or obligation. My friends, we've talked about how struggles reveal true character, how silence can be a powerful tool, and why relying solely on others for validation is a path to disappointment. Now, let's pivot and deeply consider the profound importance of focusing on self-reliance and independence. This isn't just a philosophy, it's a practical survival guide for navigating the unpredictable currents of life. To stand firm, to innovate, to truly build a life of substance, you must first and foremost be dependent on yourself. Think about a sturdy tree. Its roots plunge deep into the earth, anchoring it firmly against the strongest winds. It draws its nourishment from the soil, converting sunlight into energy. While it may share its canopy with other trees and provide shelter for creatures, its fundamental existence and growth are self-contained. It doesn't rely on another tree to hold it upright or to feed it. This is the essence of self-reliance for an individual. It's about building your own deep roots, fostering your own inner nourishment, and standing strong on your own ground, regardless of the external weather conditions. In life, circumstances can change with startling speed. Economic downturns can affect jobs, relationships can shift, health can falter. If your sense of security, your financial stability, your emotional well-being, or your future prospects are primarily hinged on external factors, a job, a specific person, a market trend, then you are inherently vulnerable. When those external supports wobble or disappear, so too does your stability. But when your foundation is built on self-reliance, you possess the internal resources to adapt, to pivot, to rebuild, and to persist, even when the world around you seems to be crumbling. What does self-reliance truly entail? It's not about being a lone wolf, completely isolated from human connection. That's a misunderstanding. It's about being capable, resourceful, and internally driven so that your participation in relationships and communities is a choice born of strength, not a desperate need. It means you contribute from a place of abundance rather than constantly seeking to extract from others. One critical aspect of self-reliance is taking personal responsibility for your life and your results. This means moving beyond blaming circumstances, luck, or other people for your current situation. It means recognizing that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you absolutely control your response to it. You control your attitude, your effort, and your choices. This shift from victimhood to ownership is one of the most liberating transformations an individual can make. Like, when you accept that you are the primary architect of your own destiny, you unlock immense power. You stop waiting for someone else to rescue you, and you start actively charting your own course. Financial independence is another cornerstone of self-reliance. This doesn't necessarily mean being wealthy, but it does mean having enough control over your financial resources so that you are not constantly beholden to external pressures or reliant on the whims of others. It involves developing skills that are valuable in the marketplace, managing your money wisely, saving for the future, and understanding how to create multiple streams of income. When you have a degree of financial autonomy, you have greater freedom to make choices that align with your values and your long-term vision, rather than being forced into decisions purely out of economic necessity. You can pursue opportunities that might not offer immediate gratification, but promise significant long-term rewards. Emotional independence is equally vital. This means developing the capacity to manage your own emotions, to find your own joy, to soothe your own anxieties, and to derive your sense of worth from within, rather than constantly seeking emotional sustenance from others. It involves understanding that while supportive relationships are wonderful, they are not responsible for your happiness. Your happiness is an inside job. When you are emotionally self-reliant, you are less susceptible to mood swings dictated by others' opinions or behaviors. You become a steady, calm presence, capable of navigating emotional turbulence with grace and resilience. You become your own most reliable source of comfort and encouragement. The path to self-reliance also involves continuous learning and skill development. The more you know, the more you can do. The more skills you acquire, the more adaptable and valuable you become. Invest in yourself. Read books, take courses, learn new trades, cultivate new abilities. Each new piece of knowledge, each new skill adds another layer to your independence, making you less dependent on others to solve your problems or to fulfill your needs. You become a more complete, more capable individual, less at the mercy of specialized experts and more empowered to take charge of your own life. Practicing independent thought is another essential element. Don't simply accept prevailing opinions or dogmas without questioning them. Cultivate your own critical thinking skills. Analyze information, form your own conclusions, and be prepared to stand by them, even if they differ from the majority. This intellectual independence is crucial for innovation, for making wise decisions, and for developing a unique perspective that can lead to extraordinary breakthroughs. It means you are not easily swayed by trends or popular sentiment, but rather guided by your own reasoned judgment. So, how do you actively build this independence? Start small. Take responsibility for areas where you've previously relied on others. Learn a new skill. Manage a budget. Make decisions independently. Embrace challenges as opportunities to prove to yourself what you are capable of. Spend time in self-reflection, understanding your own strengths and weaknesses. Confront your fears and anxieties, and develop strategies for overcoming them. Each small step of self-reliance builds momentum, accumulating into a formidable personal power. When you cultivate self-reliance and independence, you also become a more valuable friend, partner, and community member. You enter relationships from a place of strength, contributing your unique capabilities and perspective, rather than relying on others to complete you. You become a source of stability and inspiration, rather than a burden. You are a contributor, not just a consumer of support. This reciprocal dynamic leads to healthier, more authentic, and more enduring connections. Ultimately, focusing on self-reliance and independence is not about being alone, it's about being complete in yourself. It's about knowing that you have the internal resources, the skills, and the resolve to face whatever life throws your way with or without external support. It's about building a life that is truly your own, shaped by your own efforts, guided by your own vision, and sustained by your own unwavering spirit. This is the path to true freedom and lasting achievement. This is how you ensure that your destiny is firmly in your own hands, and that your success is a testament to your own formidable capacity. Now, let's turn our attention to another powerful, yet often misunderstood, aspect of the human journey, using loneliness as fuel for growth. Loneliness for many is a feeling to be avoided, a void to be filled, a discomfort to be quickly suppressed. But I tell you, when approached with the right perspective, those periods of quiet solitude and even profound loneliness can become some of the most fertile ground for personal development. Deep introspection and the kind of transformative growth that is simply impossible amidst constant distraction and external noise. Consider the seed planted in the soil. For a time, it exists in darkness, alone, drawing nourishment from its surroundings. It is in this solitary state, unseen by the world, that the vital internal work of germination takes place. It cracks open, sends down roots, and begins to draw forth the energy that will eventually allow it to push through the earth and reach for the sun. If that seed were constantly surrounded by external stimuli, if it were constantly being moved or inspected, its delicate internal process would be disrupted and its growth stunted. Similarly, for us, periods of loneliness can be those dark, quiet spaces where essential internal work occurs. When you find yourself in a place where external connections are sparse, or where the usual distractions are absent, it creates a vacuum. And in that vacuum, several powerful things can happen. First, you are forced to confront yourself. There's no one else to entertain you, no one to deflect your thoughts, no one to validate your existence. You are left with your own mind, your own feelings, your own questions. This can be uncomfortable, even unsettling at first. But this discomfort is precisely where the opportunity for growth lies. It forces you to look inward, to examine your beliefs, your values, your fears, and your aspirations with a clarity that is often obscured by constant social interaction. This introspection is a critical component of personal development. It's during these solitary moments that you can truly ask yourself the big questions. Am I living a life that aligns with my true purpose? What truly brings me joy? What aspects of myself do I need to improve? What habits are holding me back? What new direction should I explore? Without the clamor of external voices, your own inner voice, your intuition, has a chance to be heard. It's like turning down the volume on the world and tuning into your own internal radio station. The messages you receive can be profoundly guiding. Secondly, loneliness can be a powerful catalyst for creativity and innovation. Many great artists, writers, scientists, and thinkers have found their most profound insights and created their most impactful works during periods of isolation. When you are alone, your mind is free to wander, to connect disparate ideas, to explore possibilities without the pressure of immediate judgment or the need to conform to groupthink. New perspectives emerge, solutions to complex problems become apparent. The mental space created by solitude allows for a deeper level of mind, sight, focus, and imaginative exploration that is rarely possible in a bustling, saturated environment. Thirdly, using loneliness as fuel for growth strengthens your self-reliance, a principle we just discussed. When you realize you can navigate periods of solitude, when you discover the depth of your own internal resources for comfort, stimulation, and direction, your dependence on external. You learn to entertain yourself, to inspire yourself, to soothe yourself. This doesn't mean you stop valuing relationships. It means your relationships become richer because they are formed out of choice and abundance, rather than out of desperate need to fill a void. You become a more complete individual, capable of standing on your own, making you a more valuable and independent presence in any social setting. Fourthly, it can drive you to achieve. Sometimes the desire to overcome loneliness, to build something meaningful that attracts positive attention and connection, can be a potent motivator. It's not about seeking validation for its own sake, but about channeling that energy into productive action. You might pour your energy into a project, into learning a new skill, into mastering a craft, or into contributing something valuable to the world. The satisfaction of achievement, born out of solitary effort, often creates a deeper sense of fulfillment and can naturally lead to new, more authentic connections built around shared interests and mutual respect. So, how do you actively transform loneliness from a dreaded state into a powerful fuel for growth? First, change your perspective. Instead of viewing it as a negative condition, see it as a sacred time for self-discovery and personal incubation. Frame it as an opportunity, not a punishment. Second, engage in purposeful activities during these times. Don't just passively consume, actively create, learn, reflect, read books that challenge your thinking, learn a musical instrument, journal your thoughts and feelings, meditate, engage in physical activity that connects you with your body and your surroundings. Turn off the external noise, social media, constant streaming, and turn inward. Third, develop a strong sense of self-compassion. It's okay to feel lonely. It's a natural human emotion. Don't judge yourself for it. Instead, treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Use this time to nurture your spirit, to practice self-care, and to develop a deeper relationship with yourself. You are, after all, the one person you will spend your entire life with. Making that relationship strong and positive is an invaluable investment. Fourth, understand that this is a cyclical process. Periods of intense social connection and periods of solitude are both natural and necessary for a well-rounded life. Learning to embrace and leverage both, rather than resisting one, is a sign of true maturity and wisdom. You learn to appreciate the vibrancy of shared experiences and the profound insights gained in quiet reflection. Ultimately, using loneliness as fuel for growth is about mastering the art of solitude. It's about recognizing that being alone does not have to mean being empty. It can mean being full of thought, full of creativity, full of potential, and full of a developing inner strength. Embrace those quiet moments. Let them be the crucible in which your character is refined, your vision clarified, and your resolve strengthened. The growth that emerges from these solitary depths will be profound, authentic, and truly your own, setting you on a path of self-discovery and independent achievement that will benefit you for a lifetime. Your greatest insights and your most powerful transformations often occur not in the crowded arena, but in the quiet chambers of your own being. Let's now consider another vital aspect of human interaction and personal achievement. Accepting that respect is generally earned after results are clearly demonstrated, rather than being freely given during the arduous process. This is a crucial understanding that can save you immense frustration and help you channel your energy more effectively. Many people naturally desire respect and recognition while they are in the midst of their efforts, hoping that their hard work and good intentions will be enough. But the reality is, most of the world operates on a show-me basis. People tend to reserve their deepest respect for those who have proven themselves through tangible accomplishments. Think of an athlete training for an Olympic event. During the countless hours of practice, the early mornings, the strained muscles, the disciplined diet, very few people outside of their immediate coaches and family are showering them with profound respect for their effort alone. The world observes, perhaps, but the real, widespread respect, the kind that translates into accolades, endorsements, and widespread admiration, comes only if they stand on the podium with a medal around their neck. The result, the visible achievement, is what commands the broader recognition. The process, while essential, largely remains a private journey. This isn't a cynical view, it's a realistic one. Humanity is generally outcome-oriented, but we admire the finished product, the successful venture, the accomplished goal. We are inspired by winners because their results offer tangible proof of capability, dedication, and often innovation. Someone still in the throes of struggle, however admirable their effort, often doesn't elicit the same level of respect from the broader public simply because the outcome is still uncertain. Their potential is still just that, potential, and potential, however promising, does not carry the same weight as proven performance. When you understand this, you stop wasting emotional energy lamenting the lack of respect you might feel during your journey. You stop expecting widespread admiration simply for your good intentions or your hard work. Instead, you recognize that your primary focus must be on generating the results that will, in time, naturally command that respect. The work itself becomes the priority, not the immediate recognition of that work. This shifts your attention from external validation to internal execution. Furthermore, there's a subtle but important distinction between being liked and being respected. Someone might like you for your personality, your kindness, or your charm. But respect, especially in the context of achievement and capability, is often a deeper, more substantive acknowledgement of your competence, your resilience, and your proven ability to deliver. You can be a very likable person who is not widely respected for your capabilities if you haven't yet demonstrated those capabilities through tangible results. The world values people who can get things done, who can solve problems, who can create value. This understanding is particularly critical in professional and entrepreneurial endeavors. An entrepreneur with a brilliant idea, but no proven product or customer base, will struggle to gain the respect of investors, partners, or even potential employees. They might receive polite encouragement, but the serious respect, the kind that unlocks resources and opportunities, comes when they can point to customers, revenue, or a successful launch. The results speak louder than any eloquent pitch or passionate vision alone. So how do you navigate this reality effectively? First, accept it. Don't fight against the natural human tendency to value results. Instead, integrate it into your strategy. Understand that your initial audience for your hard work is often just yourself, and a very select few who truly believe in your vision. Second, relentlessly focus on producing those results. Let that be your driving force. Channel your energy into effective action, into learning from your mistakes, into refining your process, and into consistently moving towards your objectives. The more consistently you work, the more inevitably you will produce the outcomes that naturally command respect. Third, use the lack of early widespread respect as a powerful internal motivator. Let it fuel your resolve to prove yourself, not to others in a bitter way, but to yourself by achieving what you set out to do. Let the silence be a challenge you accept, an opportunity to build something undeniable. This internal fire, ignited by the desire to achieve, is far more sustainable than waiting for external praise to propel you forward. Fourth, understand that genuine respect, the kind that endures, is earned over time through a consistent track record of integrity, afford an accomplishment. It's not a fleeting emotion, it's a deep-seated acknowledgement. When you accumulate a body of work, when you consistently deliver on your promises, when you demonstrate resilience in the face of setbacks, that's when authentic respect truly solidifies. It's built brick by brick, through every challenge overcome and every goal achieved. This doesn't mean you should ignore feedback or constructive criticism during your journey. Far from it. That kind of input, especially from trusted mentors, is invaluable for refining your approach and improving your results. But it means differentiating between valuable feedback that helps you produce better results and general skepticism or lack of appreciation that you should simply filter out and not internalize. Ultimately, accepting that respect comes after results is about empowering yourself. It means you stop waiting for permission, for validation, or for applause before you fully commit to your endeavors. It means you understand that the hard work you put in today, even when unseen and unappreciated, is the very foundation upon which tomorrow's respect will be built. Your job is to focus on the work, to produce the results, and to let your accomplishments speak for themselves. When they do, the respect will follow naturally, powerfully, and undeniably. And that respect, earned through tangible effort and real achievement, is the most meaningful kind of all. You become worthy of admiration, not because you asked for it, but because you demonstrated it. Now let's delve into a truly liberating and energy-saving principle. Don't waste precious energy trying to prove yourself to others. This is a trap that many individuals fall into, a relentless pursuit of external validation that drains their vitality, distracts them from their true purpose, and often leads to profound dissatisfaction. Your life's journey is not a courtroom where you constantly have to present evidence of your worth, your capability, or your potential to a panel of judges. It is your unique path to be walked with conviction and purpose, independent of the need for universal affirmation. Consider for a moment the sheer inefficiency of trying to convince every skeptic, to impress every critic, or to justify every decision to those who have no genuine stake in your success. Each argument made, each explanation offered, each effort expended to change someone else's mind about you is not a diversion of energy that could be invested directly into your goals. It's like trying to bail out a leaky boat with a sieve. The effort is immense, but the impact is negligible and the leak persists. The only person you truly need to prove yourself to is yourself. By striving to live up to your own highest standards and achieving your own defined objectives. People often form opinions based on limited information, their own biases, or even their own insecurities. Someone might doubt your capabilities, not because you lack them, but because their own experiences have taught them caution, or perhaps they feel threatened by your ambition. Someone might criticize your choices, not because they are inherently flawed, but because those choices challenge their own comfort zone or worldview. Trying to dismantle every one of these individual perceptions is an impossible and ultimately fruitless task. You are not responsible for managing other people's opinions of you. You are responsible for managing your own actions and your own character. When you constantly seek to prove yourself to others, you surrender your internal locus of control. Your motivation becomes your actions are dictated not by your inner compass, but by the desire to elicit a specific response from an audience. This can lead to a state where you are always reacting, always adjusting, always performing, rather than authentically creating and building according to your own vision. You become a prisoner of others' perceptions, rather than a free agent pursuing your own path. This is a very subtle yet powerful form of self-sabotage. The energy you save by abandoning the need to prove yourself is immense. Imagine the mental space, the emotional calm, the sheer creative power that becomes available when you stop expending effort on external validation. This liberated energy can be channeled directly into mastering your craft, developing your skills, solving complex problems, building meaningful relationships, or simply enjoying the journey of life itself. It's like unplugging from a draining power source and connecting to an internal, self-replenishing one. This principle doesn't imply indifference to others. You still want to be effective in your interactions, and you still care about the people who truly matter in your life. But there's a critical difference between being effective and being validated. You can communicate clearly, act with integrity, and strive for excellence in your work without needing every single person to approve of your efforts or your results. Your focus shifts from "what do they think of me?" to "am I doing what is right and effective according to my own standards and goals?" How do you practically implement this liberating mindset? First, clearly define your own internal standards of success and personal excellence. What does it mean for you to do a good job? What does it mean for you to live a life of integrity? When you have these internal benchmarks, you no longer need to rely on external ones. Second, recognize that your worth is inherent and not dependent on external approval or accomplishment. You are valuable simply because you exist. Achievements add to your experience, but they don't define your fundamental worth. Practice selective listening. Tune out the noise, the casual criticisms, the unsolicited doubts from those who haven't earned the right to offer such input. Listen intently to constructive feedback from trusted mentors, experts, or those who genuinely care about your growth. But understand the source and intent of any feedback. Fourth, cultivate a strong sense of self-awareness. Understand your own strengths and weaknesses. Be honest with yourself about where you need to improve. This self-assessment is far more valuable than any external judgment. Fifth, remember that your actions in the long run will speak louder than any words you could use to try and prove yourself. Consistent effort, demonstrable results, and a steadfast commitment to your values will, over time, earn the respect of those whose opinions genuinely matter without you having to directly strive for it. Your character, revealed through your consistent behavior, will be your most compelling argument. Ultimately, liberating yourself from the need to prove yourself to others is a powerful act of self-ownership. It means claiming your authority over your own life, your own vision, and your own journey. It means understanding that your greatest audience is yourself and your most important critic is your own conscience. When you release this burden, you unleash an incredible amount of personal energy and focus, allowing you to pursue your aspirations with a clarity, conviction, and authenticity that is both deeply satisfying and powerfully effective. You stop performing for the crowd and start living for your purpose. And in doing so, you paradoxically become far more genuinely impressive and inspiring. This is true freedom. Let's now consider the immense power and necessity of staying consistent. Even when there is no applause, no external recognition, and no immediate validation for your efforts. This is where true discipline and an unwavering commitment to your vision are forged. It's easy to be motivated when the spotlight is on you, when people are cheering, or when the rewards are clearly visible and imminent. But the vast majority of meaningful progress, the foundational work that leads to significant achievement, happens in the quiet, uncelebrated moments of consistent, deliberate effort. Imagine a gardener tending to a young sapling. The gardener waters it daily, checks its soil, ensures it gets enough light. For weeks, months, perhaps even years, there may be no dramatic growth. No one is applauding the gardener for their daily routine. The sapling isn't offering immediate rewards like fruit or shade. Yet, the consistent, unglamorous actions of the gardener are absolutely essential for that sapling to eventually grow into a strong, magnificent tree. If the gardener stops watering just because there's no immediate applause, the sapling will wither. Your journey of personal and professional development is much the same. Whether you're learning a new skill, building a business, writing a book, improving your health, or cultivating a new habit, the real work often involves a series of small, consistent actions that individually seem insignificant. A few minutes of practice each day, one more page written, one more healthy meal prepared, one more sales call made. These efforts rarely generate immediate fanfare. There's no audience cheering you on for brushing up on a new language or for dedicating an hour to strategic planning. And precisely because there is no immediate external reward or recognition, it is incredibly tempting to slack off, not to skip a day, to lose momentum. This is where consistency becomes your most powerful ally. It's the silent, relentless force that compounds over time. Each small, consistent effort, like a drop of water on a stone, slowly but surely creates an undeniable impact. It builds momentum, reinforces habits, and gradually transforms your capabilities and your circumstances. The results may not be visible today or tomorrow, but they are inevitably accumulating, like interest in a bank account. The absence of applause during this consistent effort is not a sign that your work is unimportant. It's often a sign that you are in the deep, foundational stages of creation. It's during these periods that you build internal fortitude. You learn to be self-motivated, to rely on your own internal drive, rather than waiting for external validation. This cultivates a profound sense of discipline and resilience that will serve you well throughout your entire life. You are not performing for an audience, you are working for your vision. Furthermore, consistency builds character. It demonstrates to yourself that you are a person of your word, that you can commit to a goal and see it through, even when it's not glamorous or exciting. This self-trust is an invaluable asset. It strengthens your belief in your own capacity and your own resolve, making you more confident to tackle increasingly ambitious challenges. Each time you show up and do the work, even without external encouragement, you reinforce your identity as someone who is dedicated and determined. So, how do you maintain this consistency when the world is silent? First, cultivate a clear, compelling vision. You need to know why you are doing what you are doing. This overarching purpose will serve as your internal compass and your primary source of motivation when external cues are absent. Second, break your larger goals into small, manageable daily or weekly actions. Consistency is easier to maintain when the individual steps are not overwhelming. Focus on doing that small, consistent action each day rather than getting bogged down by the enormity of the ultimate goal. Third, establish routines. Habits are powerful. When you embed your consistent actions into your daily routine, they become automatic, requiring less willpower and mental energy. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't debate whether to do it, you just do it. Fourth, track your progress, even in small ways. Keep a journal, mark off days on a calendar, or use an app. Seeing visual evidence of your consistent effort, however minor the individual steps, can be incredibly motivating and provide a sense of accomplishment that replaces the need for external applause. Fifth, don't strive for perfection, strive for persistence. There will be days when you miss a step, when you fall short, or when you simply don't feel like doing the work. The key is not to let one lapse derail your entire effort. Get back on track the very next day. Consistency is about showing up most of the time, not about being perfect all of the time. It's about resilience and recovery, not flawless execution. Ultimately, staying consistent even without applause is about playing the long game. It's about understanding that significant achievement is rarely the result of a single, dramatic burst of effort, but rather the cumulative effect of countless, often unseen, small, consistent actions over time. Embrace the quiet grind. Let the silence be a testament to your discipline, your focus, and your unwavering commitment to your vision. For when the results finally manifest, they will speak with a power and authority that needs no accompanying applause, because they are the undeniable outcome of your persistent, dedicated effort. Your greatest triumphs are often built one silent, consistent step at a time, away from the gaze of the crowd. Let's now consider a truly powerful and liberating concept: letting success do the talking for you. This principle is about understanding that ultimately your accomplishments, your tangible results, and the undeniable impact of your efforts are far more eloquent, persuasive, and authoritative than any words, explanations, or justifications you could ever offer. When you embrace this idea, you free yourself from the constant pressure to explain, to defend, or to boast, allowing your achievements to stand as their own most compelling argument. Think about a master craftsman who creates a magnificent piece of art or a beautifully functional object. They don't need to stand beside it and explain its quality, its intricate details, or the immense skill and effort that went into its creation. The piece itself speaks volumes. Its beauty, its precision, its durability, its inherent value, all these communicate far more effectively than any verbal description ever could. The craftsmanship is self-evident. In our own lives, whether personal or professional, this principle holds true. When you are striving towards a goal, when you are building something new, or when you are transforming yourself, there will inevitably be critics, doubters, and those who simply don't understand your vision. In the early stages, as we've discussed, it's natural to feel the urge to explain your intentions, to justify your efforts, or to defend your approach. But this is often a wasted effort. Words without the backing of concrete results can sound like empty promises, wishful thinking, or mere excuses to those who are skeptical. However, when you achieve success, when your business thrives, when your project is completed, when your health improves, when your skills are mastered, the entire narrative shifts. Suddenly, the arguments you might have once tried to make verbally become undeniably evident in the results themselves. The doubters are silenced not because you out-argued them, but because your accomplishments render their skepticism irrelevant. The critics find their words hollow when faced with tangible proof of your capability. Your success becomes the irrefutable evidence, the ultimate validation that no amount of verbal persuasion could ever equal. This approach requires patience and a deep trust in the process. It means accepting that there will be a period of silent, unheralded work where you focus solely on execution, knowing that the outcome will eventually speak for itself. It demands a maturity that allows you to absorb criticism and doubt without becoming defensive, understanding that the best response is always continued, focused effort towards your goals. It's about cultivating an inner confidence that doesn't need external cheerleading to stay motivated. When success does the talking, it also does so with unparalleled credibility. People listen differently to someone who has achieved results than to someone who is merely talking about what they intend to do. There's a weight, an authority, an undeniable truth in accomplishment. It bypasses intellectual arguments and goes straight to demonstrable proof. This is why people are drawn to stories of success, why they seek advice from those who have achieved, and why they respect those who have delivered. The results themselves are the most powerful testimonials. Furthermore, letting success do the talking conserves your invaluable energy. Imagine the mental and emotional resources you save by not engaging in constant debates, by not trying to win over every skeptic, by not expending effort on convincing those who are resistant to your vision. This saved energy can be redirected into the very work that will ultimately lead to those undeniable successes. It allows you to maintain focus, to avoid distractions, and to dedicate your full capacity to execution. It's a strategy of strategic silence where your focus is entirely on the doing rather than the explaining. How do you effectively adopt this principle in your life? First, clearly define what success looks like for you in any given endeavor. What are the tangible, measurable outcomes you are striving for? This clarity provides a target for your silent work. Second, focus intensely on the steps required to achieve those results. Dedicate your energy to learning, practicing, building, and refining. Let your actions be your primary form of communication. Third, when faced with skepticism or criticism, resist the urge to immediately defend or explain. Acknowledge their perspective, but quietly reaffirm your commitment to your path. Let your continued effort be your most eloquent reply. Fourth, cultivate patience. Understand that significant success rarely happens overnight. It's the cumulative result of consistent, focused effort over time. Trust the process and trust that your results will eventually speak for themselves. Fifth, when success arrives, let it shine. Don't feel the need to diminish it or to over-explain it. Allow your accomplishments to stand on their own. The impact will be far greater and more authentic. You won't need to brag or boast. The results will inherently convey your competence and dedication. The quiet confidence that comes from achieving undeniable results is a powerful and attractive quality. Ultimately, letting success do the talking for you is a principle of self-empowerment and strategic focus. It's about understanding the undeniable power of tangible achievement. It means you are not defined by others' opinions or expectations, but by your own consistent effort and the measurable outcomes you produce. Your accomplishments become your most compelling story, told not through words, but through undeniable reality. And that, my friends, is a narrative that no one can refute. It is the silent yet thunderous testament to your capacity, your dedication, and your unwavering pursuit of your highest vision. Now let's consider a fascinating and often revealing truth about human nature. Understanding that winning changes people's perception of you. This isn't about the moral judgment of people being fickle. It's about observing a fundamental shift in how individuals interact with and evaluate someone who has undeniably achieved success. When you win, when you achieve your goals, when you demonstrate tangible results, a profound transformation occurs in the minds of many around you. Imagine someone who has been toiling in obscurity for years, pursuing a passionate dream that has seemed impractical or even foolish to others. During this period, their efforts might be met with polite skepticism, benign neglect, or even outright dismissal. People might see them as naive, misguided, or simply unremarkable. Their ideas might be considered fringe, their determination seen as stubbornness rather than vision. The world is often comfortable categorizing individuals based on their current visible circumstances. But then the breakthrough occurs, the venture succeeds, the goal is accomplished, the recognition arrives. Suddenly, the narrative flips completely. The very same people who once doubted, dismissed, or ignored now look at the individual through an entirely new lens. Their stubbornness is reinterpreted as unwavering resolve. Their impractical ideas are now hailed as visionary genius. Their quiet determination is seen as focused ambition. They are no longer seen as an outlier, but as an exemplar. This shift in perception is multifaceted. Firstly, success validates. It provides concrete proof that your methods, your vision, and your efforts were indeed sound. For many, this tangible evidence is what's required for belief. People are often hesitant to invest their belief in unproven concepts or individuals. Success removes that uncertainty, making it safe to acknowledge and admire. It offers a clear, undeniable signal that something significant has happened. Secondly, success often brings a halo effect. Once someone is perceived as a winner, their other qualities are often reinterpreted in a more positive light. Past failures might be seen as learning experiences rather than fatal flaws. Quirks might be seen as eccentricities of genius rather than weaknesses. The positive glow of achievement tends to illuminate everything else in a more favorable way. This is a common cognitive bias, where a person's overall impression is influenced by one prominent trait or accomplishment. Thirdly, winning changes people's perceived self-interest in interacting with you. When you are struggling, associating with you might be seen as a risk or a burden. When you are winning, associating with you can be seen as an opportunity. Suddenly, you might be seen as a source of inspiration, networking possibilities, or even direct benefits. People want to learn from you, connect with you, or simply be seen in your orbit. This isn't necessarily cynical. It's a natural human inclination to gravitate towards perceived advantage and positive energy. Fourthly, success often clarifies purpose. For those who didn't understand your vision during your struggles, the finished result often makes it crystal clear. The path that seemed meandering now appears to have been a deliberate, strategic trajectory all along. This clarity allows others to finally grasp the meaning and significance of your journey, which then in turn fosters greater understanding and respect. They can finally connect the dots, seeing the logical progression from effort to outcome. So, how do you deal with this shifting perception? First, understand it without becoming arrogant or cynical. Recognize that it's a natural human phenomenon. Don't let the sudden influx of praise go to your head. Just as you didn't let the earlier lack of praise deter you. Maintain your grounding and remember the quiet work that got you there. The sudden attention is often a reflection of their current perception, not necessarily a deeper understanding of your entire journey. Second, use this understanding to your advantage. When you are working towards a goal, remember that your eventual success will be the most powerful statement you can make. Let that future reality fuel your present efforts. It gives your silent work an even greater purpose, knowing that the results will eventually command the attention and respect that your early struggles might not have. Third, be discerning about who you allow into your inner circle after success. The sudden surge of interest can attract many, some with genuine intentions, others merely seeking to bask in your reflected glory. Remember those who stood by you during your struggles. Their loyalty is proven. Be cautious of those who only appear after victory and carefully evaluate their intentions and character. True connections are built on shared values and genuine care, not. Fourth, remain humble and focused on continued growth. The fact that winning changes people's perceptions does not mean your journey is over. It means you've reached a new plateau from which new challenges and opportunities will emerge. Use the newfound respect and attention to further your vision, to make a greater impact, and to continue learning and developing. The true measure of a person is not just how they handle adversity, but also how they handle success. Do they remain grounded, or do they become inflated? Do they continue to innovate, or do they rest on their laurels? Ultimately, understanding that winning changes people's perception is a valuable insight into the dynamics of human nature. It reinforces the idea that your most effective strategy is to relentlessly pursue your goals, to focus on generating undeniable results, and to allow those accomplishments to speak for themselves. Don't waste energy trying to convince people before you've won. Save that energy for the work itself. When you finally achieve your breakthrough, the world will reevaluate, the narrative will shift, and the respect you sought will often arrive unbidden, a natural consequence of your proven capabilities. This is the power of achievement, a silent yet profound transformer of perception. Your success becomes the ultimate argument, the most compelling story, and the most powerful tool for shaping how others see you and interact with your world. Now, my friends, let's explore a very important caution. Beware of people who suddenly support you after you've achieved success. This isn't about fostering cynicism, but about cultivating a sharp sense of discernment, a critical awareness of human motivation that protects you from insincere connections and helps you value true loyalty. When you are in the midst of your struggle, enduring the quiet grind, as we've discussed, many people are absent. Their support is minimal, if it exists at all. But when you finally cross the finish line, when your efforts bear fruit and your success becomes undeniable, it's remarkable how quickly a new crowd can gather. Consider the classic story of someone who launches a struggling business. For years, they toil, facing financial hardship, working long hours, and enduring countless rejections. During this time, many friends and acquaintances might offer vague encouragement, but few offer tangible help or unwavering belief. Some might even offer subtle doubts or advice to give up. Then the business takes off. It secures a major client, receives positive media attention, or achieves significant profitability. Suddenly, those same individuals who were absent or skeptical now appear, showering the successful entrepreneur with praise. They remember always believing in the vision. They offer congratulations, and they express a keen interest in reconnecting, collaborating, or simply spending time together. This sudden surge of support can be intoxicating, especially after a period of lonely struggle. It's natural to feel validated, to appreciate the recognition. However, it's precisely at this moment that your discernment must be at its sharpest. The question to ask is, what is the nature of this sudden support? Is it rooted in genuine admiration for your character and journey? Or is it primarily motivated by your current status, your resources, or the reflected glory of your achievement? Fair-weather friends and opportunistic individuals are drawn to success like moths to a flame. They see in your accomplishment a potential benefit for themselves, whether it's networking opportunities, social elevation, access to resources, or simply the comfort of associating with a winner. Their support is often conditional, meaning it's tied to the continuation of your success. If your fortunes were to turn again, their enthusiasm would likely wane just as quickly as it appeared. Their loyalty is not to you, but to what you represent or what you can provide. The danger of embracing this sudden, unearned support too readily is that it can dilute your true relationships. It can distract you from the genuine allies who stood by you during the difficult times, those whose loyalty was proven when it mattered most. It can also lead you to make poor decisions, as you might start to trust individuals whose motivations are not aligned with your best interests. Their praise might be flattering, but their counsel might be self-serving. So, how do you navigate this influx of new, sudden support with wisdom? First, remember your journey. Reflect on who was truly there during your struggles. Make a mental note of those individuals whose support was consistent, who offered encouragement when you had nothing to offer in return, and whose belief in you was unwavering, even in the face of doubt. These are your anchors, your true allies. Second, exercise caution, observe. When new people or old acquaintances who were previously absent suddenly appear with an abundance of praise and offers of connection, observe their behavior and their motivations. Are they genuinely interested in you as a person? Or are they primarily focused on your achievements and what they can gain from them? Listen more than you speak. Watch their actions over time. Are they consistently supportive, or do their interests shift quickly if you face a minor setback? Genuine connection takes time to build and is proven through consistent behavior, not just enthusiastic pronouncements after a win. Third, maintain your inner circle. Prioritize and nurture the relationships with your true loyal friends. Spend your valuable time and energy with those who have earned your trust through their consistent presence and genuine care, regardless of your status. These are the people who truly celebrate you, not just your success. Fourth, set boundaries. It's perfectly acceptable to be gracious and polite to everyone who offers congratulations. You don't need to be rude or dismissive. However, you also don't need to grant everyone immediate access to your time, your resources, or your inner thoughts. Protect your energy and your focus. Be discerning about who you allow into your trust, into your business, and into your personal life. Your time is valuable, and your relationships are sacred. Fifth, use your discernment to filter advice and offers. When you are successful, many people will suddenly have great ideas for you or opportunities they want to share. Carefully evaluate these. Are they truly in your best interest? Or are they designed to benefit the person offering them, often at your expense? True friends offer advice based on your well-being. Opportunistic individuals offer advice based on their own gain. Ultimately, being wary of sudden support after success is about protecting your achievements, your relationships, and your peace of mind. It's about understanding the nuances of human nature and ensuring that your journey forward is guided by authentic connections and genuine counsel, rather than by fleeting flattery or self-serving interests. Your success is a testament to your hard work, and you deserve to enjoy it, surrounded by those who truly celebrated the person, not just the prize. The truly loyal ones are the quiet voices that cheered you on when no one else was listening, not the loud ones who suddenly appear when the crowd arrives. Now, let's turn our attention to an incredibly important principle for building a fulfilling and authentic life: valuing loyalty over popularity. In a world often obsessed with external validation, with the number of followers, the extent of influence, and the breadth of connections, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters in human relationships. Popularity is often fleeting, superficial, and conditional. Loyalty is deep, enduring, and rooted in genuine connection. Understanding this distinction and actively prioritizing loyalty will lead to stronger relationships, greater peace of mind, and a more robust foundation for your life. Consider the difference between a wide, shallow river and a narrow, deep well. The river may cover a lot of ground, appearing impressive on the surface, but its waters might be turbulent and its depth inconsistent. The well, though not expansive, offers a consistent, pure, and reliable source of sustenance. Popularity is like the wide, shallow river. It touches many, but often lacks depth. Loyalty is like the deep well. It may involve fewer connections, but those connections offer profound and consistent support. Popularity is often driven by external factors. You might be popular because of your current status, your looks, your wit, your resources, or simply because you are currently trending. It is often conditional on you maintaining these external attributes. If your status changes, if your resources diminish, or if you simply fall out of favor, popularity can vanish as quickly as it appeared. It's a fragile construct, easily swayed by public opinion and transient trends. People might be drawn to you for what you can offer, not for who you truly are. Loyalty, on the other hand, is a far more fundamental and resilient quality. It is rooted in a deep appreciation for your character, a shared history, a mutual respect, and a commitment that transcends immediate circumstances. A loyal friend stands by you, not just when you are popular, but when you are struggling, when you are unpopular, when you are misunderstood, and even when you make mistakes. Their commitment is to you, the person, regardless of your external fortunes. Their presence is consistent, their belief unwavering, and their support is offered without expectation of immediate reward. The danger of chasing popularity is that it can lead you to compromise your values, to dilute your authentic self, or to spread your energy too thinly, trying to please too many people. When your primary goal is to be liked by everyone, you often end up standing for nothing, becoming a reflection of others' desires rather than an embodiment of your own principles. This path leads to a lack of genuine self, a feeling of emptiness, and ultimately dissatisfaction. You lose yourself in the endless pursuit of external approval. Prioritizing loyalty means consciously choosing to invest your time, energy, and emotional capital in a smaller, select group of individuals whose commitment to you is proven and reciprocal. These are the people who have demonstrated their trustworthiness, their steadfastness, and their genuine care through their actions, especially during your times of need. They are the ones who tell you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, because they truly care about your growth and well-being. How do you actively cultivate loyalty and distinguish it from superficial popularity? First, observe actions, not just words. Loyal individuals demonstrate their commitment through consistent presence, practical help, and unwavering belief, especially when you are not at your best. Popular individuals might offer many compliments, but their actions often speak to a lack of deeper investment. Second, look for people who celebrate your successes genuinely and stand by you through your failures. The true test of loyalty is not how someone reacts to your triumphs, but how they respond to your setbacks. Do they stay or do they retreat? Third, practice reciprocity. Loyalty is a two-way street. To receive loyalty, you must also give it. Be a steadfast, supportive, and trustworthy friend to those who have earned your respect. Invest in those relationships with your time, your attention, and your unwavering support. Be there for them in their struggles, just as they have been there for you. This mutual commitment strengthens the bonds of loyalty over time. Fourth, don't be afraid to prune your social circle. As you grow and evolve, some relationships will naturally fade. This is a healthy process. If you find yourself surrounded by many superficial connections that drain your energy and offer little genuine support, make a conscious effort to invest less in those and more in the deeper, more loyal relationships. It's better to have a small, strong circle of loyal allies than a vast, weak network of fair-weather acquaintances. Quality always surpasses quantity in human connection. Ultimately, valuing loyalty over popularity is about building a life rich in authentic, meaningful connections. It's about creating a personal and professional foundation that is resilient against the shifting sands of public opinion. When you are surrounded by loyal individuals, you have a support system that is truly dependable, a network that lifts you up, challenges you to grow, and celebrates your true self, regardless of your current status or perceived popularity. This deep, unwavering connection is a source of immense strength, comfort, and fulfillment, far more precious and enduring than any fleeting moment of widespread public acclaim. It's about having a strong, reliable crew on your ship, ready to weather any storm, rather than a large crowd on the shore waving goodbye. Now, let's explore another transformative principle: building a circle of winners who inspire you. This is a deliberate and strategic approach to shaping your environment, recognizing that the people you surround yourself with have an enormous influence on your thoughts, your attitudes, and your trajectory. Your success is not just about your individual effort. It's also profoundly impacted by the collective energy, wisdom, and ambition of your closest associates. Consider the analogy of a garden. If you plant a healthy, aspiring sapling in fertile soil, surrounded by other strong, vibrant plants, it is far more likely to thrive. The healthy plants don't just exist. They contribute to a beneficial ecosystem. They share nutrients, protect against pests, and create a generally favorable environment for growth. Conversely, if you plant that same sapling in barren soil, surrounded by weeds or neglected growth, its chances of flourishing are significant. Your personal and professional growth is similarly impacted by the soil of your social and professional environment. A winner in this context isn't just someone who has achieved material success. A winner is someone who possesses a positive attitude, a strong work ethic, a commitment to personal growth, a resilient spirit, and an unwavering belief in their own potential and the potential of others. They are individuals who are actively striving, learning, and overcoming challenges. They are people who inspire, uplift, and constructively challenge you to become your best self, rather than dragging you down with negativity or complacency. Secondly, a circle of winners provides valuable insights and perspectives. These are individuals who are likely to be on a similar growth trajectory, or who have already overcome challenges you are currently facing. They can offer practical advice, share lessons learned from their own experiences, and provide constructive feedback that helps you refine your approach. They are not afraid to challenge your assumptions or point out blind spots, because their ultimate aim is your growth and success, not merely your comfort. This kind of honest, high-level feedback is invaluable for accelerating your learning and avoiding costly mistakes. Thirdly, they set a higher standard. When you are around people who are consistently achieving, who are constantly pushing their own boundaries, it naturally raises your own expectations of yourself. You see what is possible, and it motivates you to strive for more. You realize that your own potential might be far greater than you previously imagined. This isn't about comparison in a negative, self-defeating way, but about aspiration, seeing others' achievements as a testament to human capability and a call to elevate your own game. Their excellence becomes a benchmark that inspires your own. Fourthly, a circle of winners often opens doors to new opportunities. Successful, growth-oriented individuals tend to be well-connected and actively engaged in various fields. Being part of their network naturally exposes you to new ideas, new collaborations, and new possibilities that you might never encounter if you remained in a stagnant or uninspired environment. They can connect you with resources, introduce you to other valuable contacts, and provide pathways to advancement that would otherwise be inaccessible. So how do you actively build and nurture such a powerful circle? First, be intentional about it. This isn't something that just happens by accident. Consciously seek out individuals who embody the qualities of a winner: positive, driven, growth-oriented, and inspiring. Attend events, join groups, seek mentorships, and actively engage in communities where such individuals congregate. Second, be a winner yourself. To attract winners, you must also be committed to your own growth and contribution. Be positive, be proactive, be a learner, and be generous with your own insights and support. Relationships are reciprocal. Third, nurture these relationships. Don't just observe, actively engage, offer value to your circle. Share your insights, celebrate their successes, and offer support during their challenges. Be a loyal and encouraging presence. Healthy relationships require consistent investment of time and energy. Fourth, be prepared to make changes. This can be difficult, but if your current circle is consistently dragging you down, stifling your ambition, or filling you with negativity, you must make the courageous decision to limit your exposure to those influences and prioritize those who lift you up. Your growth is too important to be compromised by negative associations. Building a circle of winners who inspire you is one of the most powerful strategies for accelerating your personal and professional development. It's about consciously choosing your influences, shaping your environment, and surrounding yourself with people who reflect the qualities you aspire to embody. These individuals become your sounding boards, your motivators, your sources of wisdom, and your fellow travelers on the path to excellence. Their collective energy creates a powerful force field of possibility and progress that will propel you forward, far beyond what you could achieve in isolation. Your environment becomes a catalyst for your potential, and that, my friends, is a truly remarkable advantage. Now, let's reflect on another profound truth about the nature of genuine relationships, remembering that real friends stay during failures. This is the ultimate test of loyalty, the crucible in which true connection is forged and revealed. When life is smooth, when you are achieving, when everything seems to be going your way, it's relatively easy to have a crowd of acquaintances who celebrate with you. But it is during the times of struggle, the moments of disappointment, the periods of profound failure, that the superficial connections are stripped away and the unwavering presence of true friendship shines through. Consider the ebb and flow of a tide. When the tide is high, the beach is full, vibrant with activity and many footprints. But when the tide recedes, leaving behind the exposed and often messy shoreline, only the deepest marks, the most resilient structures, remain. Similarly, in life, failure acts like a receding tide, revealing the true depth and strength of your relationships. Many will vanish, pulled away by the shift in circumstances. But real friends, those precious few, will remain, their presence as steadfast as the deepest rocks on the shore. Fake friends, as we've discussed, often have a conditional attachment. Their interest is tied to your ability to provide certain benefits, social standing, entertainment, financial advantage, or simply a consistent flow of positive energy. When your failures disrupt these benefits, when your struggles become a burden, or when your situation becomes uncomfortable, their presence quickly diminishes. They do not want to be associated with perceived weakness, with difficulty, or with anything that might require them to expend effort without a clear, immediate reward. Their absence during your failures is not a condemnation of you, but an honest revelation of the shallow nature of their connection. True friends, however, operate from a different foundation entirely. Their connection is built on genuine affection, mutual respect, and a deep understanding of who you are as a person beyond your accomplishments or your current status. When you experience failure, these individuals do not retreat. Instead, they often draw closer. They offer a listening ear without judgment, a shoulder to lean on without conditions, and practical support without expectation of repayment. They understand that failure is a part of life's journey, an inevitable component of striving for anything worthwhile. They see your struggles not as a reflection of your inherent worthlessness, but as temporary setbacks that can be overcome. Their presence during your failures is a powerful testament to their loyalty. It's a confirmation that their commitment to you is unwavering, that it is rooted in something far more profound than the fleeting circumstances of success. They provide the emotional safety net, the calm voice of reason, and the unwavering belief that helps you navigate the darkest moments. They remind you of your strengths when you've forgotten them, and they offer perspective when despair threatens to consume you. This kind of support is invaluable. The lessons learned from experiencing who stays during your failures are among the most important you will ever encounter. They teach you whom to trust, whom to cherish, and where to invest your most precious emotional energy. It helps you distinguish between those who are with you for the ride and those who are with you for life. This painful pruning of your social circle, though difficult in the short term, ultimately leads to a network of relationships that is far stronger, more authentic, and more dependable. You build a foundation of genuine loyalty that can withstand any storm. So how do you practically engage with this truth? First, accept it as a fundamental aspect of human relationships. Do not be surprised or overly hurt when some individuals disappear during your struggles. Their absence is simply an honest data point about the nature of your connection, not a reflection of your inherent. Second, actively recognize and deeply appreciate those who do stay. These individuals are your treasures. Express your gratitude, reciprocate their loyalty, and nurture those relationships with the utmost care and attention. Make them a priority in your life. Third, learn from your failures, not just about your project, but about your relationships. Each setback offers an opportunity to refine your understanding of human nature and to strengthen your discerning eye for genuine connection. Fourth, don't let the departure of fair-weather friends diminish your faith in human connection. Instead, let it clarify your understanding of what true connection looks like and strengthen your resolve to seek and cultivate those authentic bonds. Ultimately, remembering that real friends stay during failures is about building a life rich in authentic relationships. It's about valuing the depth of loyalty over the breadth of popularity. It means understanding that the most valuable support you will ever receive comes not from those who stand by you when you are at your lowest, when you have nothing to offer but your vulnerability. These are the individuals who truly know you, truly accept you, and truly believe in your capacity to rise again. Their unwavering presence in your darkest hours is the most powerful and meaningful form of friendship you will ever encounter. It is a bond forged in adversity, stronger than any fleeting success, and a source of profound strength and comfort throughout your entire life. Now let's explore a cornerstone of personal resilience and unwavering purpose, keeping your vision stronger than your doubts. This principle is not about eliminating doubt entirely. Doubt is a natural part of any ambitious journey. Instead, it's about developing the mental fortitude to ensure that your vision, your clear picture of your desired future, always holds more weight, more power, and more compelling influence over your actions than any fleeting fears or uncertainties that may arise. And imagine an explorer setting out on a long, arduous journey to an uncharted land. Along the way, they will inevitably encounter obstacles, dense forests, treacherous rivers, harsh weather, moments of fatigue, and times when the path seems to disappear entirely. During these challenges, doubts will naturally creep in. Am I going the right way? Is this destination even real? Am I capable of reaching it? If those doubts become stronger than the explorer's vision of the desired land, if they overshadow the compelling purpose of the journey, then the explorer will falter, turn back, or give up entirely. But if the vision of the destination, The rich resources, the new discoveries, the historical significance remains vibrant, clear, and more powerful than the immediate discomforts or uncertainties. Then the explorer will find the strength to push through every obstacle. Your personal and professional endeavors are no different. When you set out to achieve something significant, something beyond your current capabilities or circumstances, you are venturing into uncharted territory. You will inevitably face setbacks, rejections, criticisms, and moments when progress seems agonizingly slow. In these times, doubt is a natural human response. It whispers questions of inadequacy, questions of futility, questions of risk. The crucial distinction lies in how you manage these doubts. Do you allow them to fester, to grow into an overwhelming force that paralyzes you and ultimately derails your efforts? Or do you recognize them for what they are, temporary mental obstacles, and consciously choose to re-engage with the strength and clarity of your vision? The successful individuals are those who have mastered the art of keeping their vision paramount, always brighter and more compelling than the shadows of doubt. What makes a vision strong? It's not just a vague wish or a fleeting desire. A strong vision is clear and specific. You can vividly imagine what it looks, feels, and sounds like to achieve it. Compelling and meaningful. It resonates deeply with your values and desires, providing a powerful emotional drive. It's not just something you want, but something you must achieve. Future-oriented, it pulls you forward, acting as a beacon that guides your present actions. Personally owned. It's your vision, not someone else's expectation for you. When your vision possesses these qualities, it becomes a powerful internal force. It serves as your internal compass, directing your decisions and fueling your motivation, especially when external encouragement is scarce. It's the reason you wake up early, the reason you put in the extra effort, the reason you persist when others would quit. So, how do you actively cultivate and maintain a vision that is stronger than your doubts? First, define your vision with absolute clarity. Write it down, describe it in detail. Create a vision board. Regularly visualize yourself achieving it, engaging all your senses in the process. The more real and vivid your vision becomes, the more powerful its magnetic pull will be. Second, connect your vision to a deeper purpose. Understand why this vision is so important to you. What values does it uphold? What impact will it have on your life or the lives of others? A vision anchored in purpose is far more resilient against doubt. When you are doing something for a reason that truly matters, the discomforts of the journey become far more tolerable. Third, regularly review and reaffirm your vision. In the midst of daily struggles and setbacks, it's easy for your vision to become clouded or to recede into the background. Make it a daily practice to revisit your vision. Read your written goals. Look at your vision board. Spend a few moments each day reconnecting with the emotional power of your desired future. This consistent reaffirmation acts as a powerful antidote to creeping doubt. Fourth, understand the nature of doubt. Recognize that doubt is often a protective mechanism, a way your mind tries to keep you safe from perceived risks or potential disappointment. It's not necessarily a sign that your vision is flawed. Acknowledge the doubt, but don't give it undue power. Listen to its questions, but always return to the strength of your vision for the ultimate answer. You can hear the doubt, but you don't have to follow its lead. Fifth, take consistent action, however small. Doubt thrives on inaction. When you are taking consistent, deliberate steps towards your vision, you build momentum and gather evidence of your capability. Each small success, or each obstacle overcome, reinforces your belief in your ability to achieve the larger goal, thus weakening the grip of doubt. Action is often the most powerful antidote to fear and uncertainty. Sixth, surround yourself with reminders of your vision and with individuals who support it. Your environment plays a crucial role. Keep your vision visible. Share it with trusted friends or mentors who will help you hold it strong, even when your own conviction wavers. Their belief can act as a temporary crutch until your own internal strength is fully restored. Ultimately, keeping your vision stronger than your doubts is a continuous practice of mental discipline and emotional resilience. It's about consciously choosing to focus on possibility rather than limitation, on your ultimate destination rather than the immediate obstacles. It's about understanding that the path to any significant achievement will be fraught with challenges, and that your ability to navigate those challenges depends entirely on the unwavering power of your internal compass, your clear, compelling, and deeply meaningful vision. Let that vision be your guiding star, always shining brighter than any shadow of uncertainty, pulling you forward with an irresistible force towards the realization of your highest aspirations. Now, let's discuss a critical aspect of self-preservation and sustained focus, protecting your energy from jealousy and envy. These negative emotions, whether they emanate from others or occasionally whisper within your own mind, are insidious drains on your vitality, capable of derailing your progress and diminishing your joy. Understanding how to shield yourself from their corrosive influence is essential for maintaining your momentum and preserving your inner peace. Imagine your personal energy as a finite resource, like a well of water. Every time you engage with jealousy or envy, whether by dwelling on others' perceived advantages or by absorbing the negative vibes of those who resent your progress, it's like dipping a leaky bucket into your well. The water, your precious energy, is wasted, not on productive work or joyful pursuits, but on unproductive emotional turmoil. The wise individual learns to seal those leaks, ensuring their energy is conserved for growth, creation, and meaningful contribution. Jealousy and envy are often born from comparison. When people see someone achieving success, making progress, or simply possessing something they desire, it can trigger these negative reactions. Instead of being inspired to greater effort themselves, some individuals fall into the trap of resenting others' good fortune. They might criticize your achievements, question your methods, spread rumors, or offer backhanded compliments. Their aim, consciously or unconsciously, is to diminish your light because they feel inadequate in their own. The danger for you lies in internalizing this negativity. If you allow the jealousy of others to penetrate your resolve, if you start worrying about their opinions, or if you begin to dim your own light to avoid their resentment, you become a victim of their negative emotions. You lose your focus, your confidence, and your joy. The energy you spend worrying about what others think, or trying to appease their envy, is energy not spent on your own growth. This is a subtle form of self-sabotage, where external negativity is allowed to dictate your internal state and your outward actions. So, how do you effectively protect your energy from these corrosive forces? First, recognize them for what they are. Understand that jealousy and envy are rarely about you. They are almost always a reflection of the other person's internal struggles, their own unfulfilled desires, or their own insecurities. When you see it as their issue, not yours, it becomes much easier to detach and not take it personally. Their negativity is a burden they carry, not one you need to accept. Second, maintain your focus on your own path and your own progress. The best antidote to external jealousy is unwavering commitment to your own vision. When you are deeply engaged in your work, when you are celebrating your own small victories, and when you are consistently moving towards your goals, the opinions and resentments of others lose their power. Your internal satisfaction and momentum become a protective shield. You are too busy building your own empire to worry about others' kingdoms. Third, practice mindful detachment. When you encounter someone exhibiting jealousy or envy, acknowledge their feelings without absorbing them. You can be aware of their negativity without letting it permeate your own emotional landscape. Don't engage in arguments or justifications. Simply observe, protect your boundaries, and gracefully disengage from interactions that consistently drain your energy. Your peace of mind is too valuable to sacrifice at the altar of others' resentment. Fourth, celebrate their successes authentically. This is a powerful internal practice that counters the potential for your own envy to arise. When you genuinely cheer for the achievements of others, it shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. It reinforces the idea that there is enough success for everyone, and that others' wins do not diminish your own potential. This practice strengthens your own positive energy and builds a more supportive personal ecosystem. Fifth, be discreet about your aspirations and early successes. While it's important to share your vision with a trusted inner circle, sometimes, in the early stages, it's wise not to broadcast your every step to the wider world, especially to those you know are prone to envy. As we discussed, work in silence. Let your significant results speak for themselves. This minimizes the opportunities for others' negativity to latch onto your nascent efforts. 6. Surround yourself with positive, growth-oriented individuals. Building a circle of winners who genuinely celebrate each other's achievements is a powerful defense against jealousy and envy. These are the people who lift you up, who inspire you, and who see your success as a testament to what is possible rather than a threat to their own standing. Their positive energy becomes a collective shield against negativity. Ultimately, protecting your energy from jealousy and envy is about exercising conscious control over your emotional environment. It's about prioritizing your mental well-being and your sustained focus on your goals. By recognizing these destructive emotions, detaching from them, and reinforcing your own positive trajectory, you ensure that your precious energy is conserved for the productive pursuits that truly matter, leading to greater achievement and a more fulfilling life. Don't allow the poison of others' resentment to seep into your own well-being. Guard your energy fiercely, for it is your most valuable asset on the path to your highest aspirations. Finally, let's bring all these threads together into a conclusive, empowering principle. Focus on winning, and true friends will reveal themselves. This is the ultimate synthesis of all the wisdom we've discussed today. It's about a strategic, determined, and deeply self-reliant approach to your life's journey, trusting that by committing fully to your own excellence and achievement, you will naturally draw to yourself the genuine connections that truly matter, while the superficial ones will fall away. Consider the journey of a sculptor. Their focus is entirely on the block of stone before them, on the tools in their hands, and on the clear vision of the masterpiece they intend to create. They don't waste time trying to convince onlookers of their talent, or lamenting the lack of a crowd during their solitary work. Their energy is directed solely towards the creation. As they chip away, as the form begins to emerge, as the masterpiece takes shape, the quality of their work itself becomes undeniable. And it is this undeniable quality, this tangible achievement, that ultimately attracts genuine admirers, true patrons, and those who appreciate the depth of their artistry. Your life is your masterpiece in progress. If you dissipate your energy chasing validation, trying to prove yourself to every skeptic, worrying about who is watching or who isn't, or allowing external negativity to consume you, then your focus on the sculpting of your life diminishes. The quality of your work, your achievements, your character, your impact will suffer. But if you commit with unwavering dedication to your own winning, to defining your goals, consistently working towards them, overcoming obstacles, and producing results, a profound transformation occurs. Firstly, focusing on winning clarifies your purpose and sharpens your actions. When your internal compass is set on achieving your defined objectives, every decision becomes clearer. You prioritize what truly matters, you eliminate distractions, and you channel your energy with powerful precision. This relentless focus on execution is what ultimately generates the tangible results that define winning. It's about doing the work day in and day out with an intensity that is independent of external factors. Secondly, this disciplined focus builds undeniable character. The process of striving, of facing challenges, of learning from failures, and of persisting without external applause, all these forge a powerful inner strength, resilience, and self-reliance. You develop a deep trust in your own capabilities, a quiet confidence that emanates from within, and an unwavering belief in your own vision. This authentic strength is attractive not in a superficial way, but in a profound sense that draws genuine respect and connection. Thirdly, when you focus on winning, you inevitably produce results. And as we've discussed, results are the ultimate communicators. They silence doubt, they clarify vision, and they command respect. Your accomplishments become the undeniable proof of your capacity, your dedication, and your integrity. They demonstrate your value to the world more powerfully than any words ever could. This tangible evidence of your effectiveness naturally garners attention and opens doors to new opportunities and deeper connections. And this is where the true friends will reveal themselves aspect comes into play. As you consistently win, as you achieve, as you build a track record of accomplishment and character, you naturally start to attract people who resonate with that energy. The superficial acquaintances, those who were only interested in what you might offer or what you could provide, will often fall away. Their lack of genuine connection means they are not sustained by the kind of authentic engagement that true achievement demands. Instead, you will find that individuals who genuinely admire your work ethic, your integrity, your vision, and your spirit will gravitate towards you. These are the people who are inspired by your journey, who celebrate your success without envy, and who are willing to offer genuine support and collaboration because they recognize and value your inherent worth, not just your latest achievement. They see the substance, not just the sparkle. These true friends, these genuine allies, will have been revealed through the fire of your efforts. Some may be the loyal few who stood by you during your initial struggles. Others may be new connections drawn to the powerful, authentic person you have become through your dedicated pursuit of winning. What unites them is a shared appreciation for genuine effort, for integrity, and for the profound value of building something meaningful. They connect with the person you are, not just the things you have achieved. So, how do you live this principle? First, define your winning. What does success truly mean for you, personally and professionally? Make it clear, compelling, and aligned with your deepest values. Second, commit to the process with unwavering focus. Direct your energy, your time, and your effort towards the specific actions that will lead to your winning. Don't be distracted by the noise, the doubts, or the fleeting allure of external validation. Third, embrace the challenges and failures as integral parts of the journey. They are not roadblocks. They are refining fires that strengthen your character and clarify your path. Fourth, trust that the right people will find their way to you as you become more of who you are meant to be, as you consistently strive for excellence, and as you achieve your goals, your authentic self and your undeniable results will act as a magnet. You won't need to force connections or chase popularity. The genuine, meaningful relationships will emerge naturally, drawn to the powerful and authentic person you have become. Ultimately, focusing on winning is not a selfish endeavor. It's an act of profound self-respect and self-creation. It's about fulfilling your own potential, living up to your own highest standards, and making your unique contribution to the world. My friends, as we draw to a close, remember these profound truths we've explored together. The journey of life, especially one of ambition and personal growth, is not a popularity contest to be won by pleasing everyone. It is a deeply personal odyssey, filled with challenges and triumphs, demanding an unwavering commitment to your own vision. We've uncovered the reality that many people will ignore your struggles and only celebrate your success. This isn't a reason for bitterness, but for wisdom. It teaches you to build inner strength, to rely on your own resolve, and to understand that true support is a rare and precious commodity, often revealed only when the chips are down. We've emphasized the power of working in silence, letting your efforts compound, and allowing your eventual achievements to speak for themselves far more eloquently than any words ever could. We've spoken of using loneliness as fuel, transforming solitary moments into profound periods of growth and self-discovery. Remember, your vision must always be stronger than your doubts. Your commitment must surpass any external criticism or internal fear. Protect your energy fiercely from the corrosive forces of jealousy and envy, understanding that these are burdens others carry, not ones you need to adopt. And perhaps most importantly, we've established that valuing loyalty over fleeting popularity is the key to building an authentic, dependable circle of friends, a true support system that endures through every season of your life. So as you step forward from this moment, carry these insights with you. Stop chasing validation from every corner. Instead, chase your goals, chase your dreams, chase your highest potential. Direct your immense energy, your incredible talent, and your unwavering spirit towards that which you truly wish to achieve. Build your own strong foundation, knowing that your self-reliance is your greatest asset. When you focus on winning, not just for the accolades, but for the profound satisfaction of living a life of purpose and achievement, a remarkable thing will happen. The noise of the world will fade, the superficial will recede, and you will find yourself surrounded by those whose connection to you is genuine, whose admiration is sincere, and whose loyalty is unwavering. These are the true friends, the true allies, who recognize the authenticity of your journey and celebrate the undeniable truth of your character and your accomplishments. They will reveal themselves not because you sought their approval, but because you embodied the very qualities that attract genuine connection. Go forth, my friends, with renewed clarity, with an unshakable resolve, and with the quiet confidence of someone who understands the deeper dynamics of life and success. Your potential is limitless. Your capacity for achievement is profound. Focus on your winning and watch as your world transforms, filled with genuine purpose, undeniable results, and the invaluable companionship of true, loyal friends. The stage is set. The tools are in your hands, and the masterpiece of your life awaits your unwavering dedication. Now go create it. Go win.